Welcome back to WCI's YouTube channel. Today we're talking Wagtail versus Moerman Highflyer versus Accelerator. Let's get to it.
Thanks for watching windowcleaner.com. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe.
First thing that we want to do is use these in hand. So I have a 14-inch of each. I have a Moerman soft in here, and I have a professional soft in the Highflyer. So I want to demonstrate that sometimes when you're working with the Accelerator and you have a hard rubber in there, get some lines there initially, and so you just kind of have to load the blade up first, and then you can get to work. With the Highflyer, you don't have to do that priming maneuver. You can just go to work. Of course, we'd be remiss if we did not talk about zero detail when we're talking about the Accelerator. So you see like that. So sometimes you're going to get that, and so you just kind of load up until you see a path that has no lines down the middle. You'll see there that, I mean, there's just nothing left. Let's try this with the Highflyer. So you will see that the Highflyer will leave a little bit there. That's if you're using it like you would the Accelerator. So just come up like that, and you tilt down like that, you dive bomb, and then you'll see that when I started my dive bomb here, and once I did, you know, there's nothing. All right, so if I was to give the edge to one or the other, I'm going to give it to the Accelerator for zero detail, but you can still achieve that with the Highflyer as you can with any squeegee. Something you want to know about the Highflyer is that, yes, it pivots like this, but it also pivots like this. So you have a dual pivoting motion, which really increases your versatility. You can scrub, and you can put your hand down like this, and you can still have a lot of scrubbing power. Now, you can kind of do that with the Accelerator. So if it's over the top, as you come down like this, you're not getting a whole lot. So you do have to kind of like tip it upside down. If you're doing it pad underneath, and this goes for other wagtails too, then all right, you can kind of get it. But what usually happens is as you come up, that pad will sometimes flip on you. Instead of having just the surface area of the squeegee rubber pressing up against the window, you have this whole plate. So you're going to get more scrubbing power with the Highflyer. What you'll find with the Highflyer, at least the one that I have here, when I first got it, it was really tight. Like it wasn't clicking. Like this one, you hear that? It's got that nice snap to it. Okay, so we have an instance here where I'm going to have to do some straight pulls because it's the fastest. And if you know me, I don't marry myself to any technique. I do whatever is going to get the job done fastest with the best quality. So I do have a 16-inch Highflyer in the car, but I'm going to use this 14 because I don't feel like walking back. When it comes to straight pulls, any wagtail, including the Highflyer, is going to outperform the Accelerator. The Accelerator just does not perform well with straight pulls. You will end up leaving a line on your leading edge. So I'm going to do these top windows. If you're having trouble flipping it at this height, you want to step away from the building and let that pole go down a little bit like this, and then try to flip it. And you don't want to get a lot of, you don't want to get a lot of action on your pole. We'll snap the mop back into the scrubbing position. So we're going to employ the hit and run method here. And I am choking up on the pole as I come down, so my feet are staying in the same place. And just close it like that. So I want to show you too, with the Highflyer, I have a 14-inch right here. What this is good for is, like, if there was a bench here and I had to reach around the bench, it's really good. Instead of having to scrub, put this back in my belt, you know, put it back in my belt, grab the squeegee, come back here. You can just stay right there, flip, and then go to work. Close it like that. I want to demonstrate a couple of things about the Highflyer. The flipping action, you're going to have to learn just the right feel for it. And so it's going to hang like that naturally. And so when you're on the pole, when you're scrubbing, first of all, and you pull it away, it's going to fall, and then it's going to have like an extra movement to it. Watch. You got to kind of wait till it hits this position before you flick. To go on to the next window, you don't want it in this position. You want it in the scrubbing position. If you pull off gently, it will stay in that position of squeegee. But if you put a little pressure, see how there's a little bit of pressure there? And you just pull off like that, you can get it to go into the proper position for the next window. Okay, so there's a couple more things that I want to show you. Number one is standing to the side of the window, and number two is getting what I call like a 360-degree action, where you can actually tip the thing upside down on a pole. So the tendency may be to stand in front of the window. There's nothing wrong with that, but as you start to come down the window, the butt end of your pole is going to start to come up like this, changing the angle of the rubber. And so as you start to get more like this, as you come down, you're going to start to get skips, which means that you're going to have to choke up. When you stand to the side, you don't have to do that. So you cut down one side, and then you can just cut down this side, and look at that. You can maintain the same angle of the pole. The angle of the pole is not changing, meaning that the distance that I have, the butt end distance, is staying the same all the way down the window. And so this applies to both the Highflyer and the Accelerator, where you can just, it's actually easier. You can see I'll just cut through, keep that rubber wet, and then come down, and then you can just close out. So you can do the same thing. The only thing with the Accelerator is you have to have the pad on the bottom, because if you have it over the top, when you tip this upside down, the pad will trail the squeegee and you're going to leave lines on the window. So you got to do it upside down. Same thing, cut in, come down, come up, touch that, come down, and same thing. All right. And if you need to, you can change the angle on here. I have it at 25. And just come down like that, and then you can just close out with your hand squeegee if you want. You could close out with the pole, but whatever's easier. Okay, so that's standing to the side of the window. So let's talk about the 360 action. And the Highflyer used to be called the Highflyer 360. That's no longer the official designation, but you can see here I've attached the angle arm, and there's an arrow on the Highflyer or any wagtail squeegee that shows you that this should line up like this, and so you're going to have it in this position. And so when you attach the angle arm, you're going to have to stand a little bit further back from the window. So you attach the angle arm with the Highflyer when you have to stand back from the window. Okay, when you're up close to the window like this, you take the angle arm off. Back like this, you have to put it on because you'll get skips. Okay. And I mean, look at that, right there. I mean, you're upside down on the pole, and I'm standing to the side of the window, upside down. So your range of movement here with the angle arm greatly increases, and you'll notice the butt end of my pole is barely moving. What's the equivalent for the accelerator when it comes to an angle arm? Well, the equivalent is that you would change your angle here. So when you're up close to the window, it's 40 degrees. Normal operation's 25, and then if you have to stand back from the window, you would put that at 10 degrees. Just hit and run. Okay. And in order to close out, you got to put the pad over the top. So what is the final synopsis of these tools? Here's what I would say. If you've never used either one, start off with the Highflyer. And there's still going to be a learning curve, but it's a little bit easier to learn on. They both have their uses in different applications, so you just have to find out which ones work best for you. You can go to shopwindowcleaningresource.com. You will find these items. Talk to Alex if you have any questions. Shop the store, buy the gear, make some money. So I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Versus. It's a short series, and we may come back and revisit the topic, but this is going to be the last of the series. But I am thankful that you took some time to spend with me. I hope it was helpful to you. And check out WCR's YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Steve-O, Tradman, Fluff Daddy, Window Joe, Luke and Rihanna, and myself. Every Friday, Jersey Josh does Nation. So tune in, be a part, have a voice, and we will see you on the next WCR video. Have a great day in your business.
Thanks for watching WindowCleaner.com on YouTube. If you liked the video, please thumbs up and subscribe. And make sure to check back every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday so you don't miss a video. And if a life without Jordie is unbearable, check out his YouTube channel at The Window Cleanse on YouTube.